Thinking about cashing out your crypto, be careful, because one wrong move may cost you thousands or millions in taxes. Stay tuned, I'll share everything you need to know about how to minimize your capital gains tax. Hi, my name is Rusudan. I have been a CFO at Nomad Capitalist for almost 4 years, helping high net worth individuals legally reduce their taxes, get second citizenships, and go where they are treated best. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about how to minimize your capital gains tax when cashing out your crypto. So recently we have all seen that Bitcoin, for example, reached its with 100,000 US dollars in value. It is a huge milestone, and I do know that I had some clients of ours and some people in our industry asking and thinking about how to cash out, when to cash out, or even like a bit maybe paying more attention to the plan that they maybe need to have in place for the moment that when they think about cashing out. So I do want to unpack it a bit more in this video and tell you what kind of steps you need to take to make sure that you maintain most of your wealth and you do not have to pay a lot of tax when cashing out. The first thing that we need to think about is like what triggers capital gains tax. I'll quickly remind you guys that capital gains tax is a tax that is paid on the difference between what you bought something for and what you are selling it for. For example, if you were lucky enough to buy crypto at, I don't know, 20,000 US dollars, and now it is valued at 100,000 US dollars, and you can sell it for 100,000 US dollars, it means that the difference when you are selling crypto or Bitcoin in this specific case, the difference will be taxed at the rate of the capital gains. In different countries, of course, the rate is going to be different, and the treatment in general of this transaction is going to be different, but capital gains tax in general works the same. The first thing that you need to think about in this case is like where you are going to be taxed. So your tax residency, your tax jurisdiction is going to be very important. For example, if you're in the US, you're selling your crypto, it means that you will be taxed at 37% if you've held it for less than 1 year. But if you've held your crypto for like more than a year, you can be taxed anywhere between 0 to 20% depending on your other incomes as well. So I think that there are two things that you need to think about. So where is your tax jurisdiction, so where you have to pay tax, and the other one is what triggers the tax, because in some cases I've heard people say that like it's like so easy, like you have your wallet or exchange or wherever, you click on sell and it's done. No, that means that moment you triggered your tax bill to be paid in some jurisdiction depending on where you are and where you hold your crypto. So it is important for you to know when is the best time to sell it, because in some cases it is better if you sell it after like more than 1 year, because it puts you in a better tax position where the rates may be less than what it would have been if you've sold it like after 6 months of holding it. Like think ahead, plan it, make sure that you're not only thinking about the market, that of course, like the first priority is to think about the market and what kind of position it puts you in, but also the other priority is making sure that you're putting yourself in a very beneficial tax situation as well. So think about how long you are going to hold it for and where you're going to pay your tax. So for example, Australia and Canada kind of have the same type of thing. You pay tax only on the 15% of capital gains, or they discount 50%. So basically, like mathematically, you just pay half of the tax that you would in any other situation. So there are different situations and jurisdictions, and I think that in some cases you could benefit from planning it accordingly. So when do you cash out and where do you cash out from? And do not forget, like there are some people who are like, I'm gonna do everything, I'm gonna have a better tax residency, so apply for it, like do it legally and do everything right, but they forget that you just becoming a tax residency in another country may not necessarily mean that you can take your crypto with you or you can cash out with you, and this new jurisdiction will be considered the tax jurisdiction for the crypto capital gains. Because in some countries, when you leave the country, leaving your tax residency country and I don't know, cashing out your assets or like moving some assets from one country to another, the first country, your kind of home native country, will definitely make sure to seek all the tax bills that you owe them, and maybe you exiting the country triggers another tax bill that you may not be aware of right now. So do check that, make sure that you are covered from where you're living, and of course plan where you're going to very carefully. So there are a couple of strategies that I've seen people implement in their lives, and our strategy team does that often with our clients. A couple of strategic decisions regarding the timing you can make that can help you maybe reduce your tax bill, in addition to just going to a very tax-friendly country. The first thing is thinking about when to cash out, and do you cash out one time, or do you maybe slowly cash out? If your capital gains in some countries is lower than a certain amount, the threshold that they set, you may have to pay less tax. So as long as you don't go over that threshold, you may be reducing your tax bill by significant amount. So plan that accordingly, know what you have to pay in your tax jurisdiction, and maybe there's a way to kind of minimize that even without changing something significantly. The other way to do it is, of course, you can offset your losses against the gains. The crypto market has been a bit volatile. In some cases, maybe you have suffered some losses from that, and in most cases, you can use that loss and offset it against the gains that you've had. So basically, you would be reducing your taxable amount of the gains by the losses that you have suffered from. So that is a very interesting and very good opportunity for you to reduce the taxable amount for the capital gains. So one other way that I've seen people plan their taxes strategically is charitable donations, where you can donate the amount from your crypto gains, and you can use that as a tax deduction. One other thing that we always recommend for our clients and also help them implement in their lives is just setting up the correct structure, like trust or company structure, or a combination of both, that helps you reduce your tax bill, and maybe putting the assets that you hold in crypto and cashing out through the correct structure may help you not pay as much tax as possible. There are ways, for example, Cook Island Trust or BVI company. Those are the ways the combination of could help you reduce the tax bill by not being eligible to pay tax on a personal level, but for the company to pay. And if you choose the right company in the right jurisdiction, and if you choose the right corporate structure for that, you may significantly reduce your tax bill on the capital gains. So to wrap it up, I think that if you're thinking about cashing out, there are a couple of important items to consider. So the first one is, where are you a taxpayer? So where do you have to pay tax when you are cashing out? The second one is, when do you have to pay tax? Does it make sense for you to maybe spread it out a little bit and enjoy a better tax rate compared to just paying everything right now, cashing everything out right now and paying a lump sum on the whole amount. The third thing that I would also point out is that not only selling, but there are some other transactions that may trigger for you to have to pay tax. For example, if you are paying with crypto for some services or goods, it is also considered a taxable event in most cases. So I would be very careful. It's not only selling it and getting fiat that triggers the tax. It's also maybe selling one crypto for another cryptocurrency. It is also a taxable event. So I would be very careful with that. I would have that in mind, that it also triggers capital gains tax. And do not forget that there is always a way to resolve this, and also always a way to reduce your tax bill. So if you want to know more about this, you can go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, and we will be more than happy to further help you with this.
This is how to live like a king in Medellin.
This is Medellin like you've never seen it before.